I'm going to show you how to fill our new cartridges. These are easy fill cartridges, no priming required, better microscreen, a new type of poppet valve. Compared to the old style, ones that are being sold, you have a very small microscreen. You've got to prime the cartridge. How you can tell is usually two holes side by side. And this can drop color. You can have a lot of problems with this type of cartridge. We've tested it. We don't think it's that good. Now they came out with a knockoff. You can see right here. They had a little microscreen, a little chamber. They still lack the check valves. There again, the two holes are together. Now our cartridge, you have a large microscreen, two check valves up here to control the ink flow, so you get positive ink pressure, a poppet valve with a spring, so when you take them out, they won't leak all over. You're going to remove that hole, that plug rather, right here. You're going to fill it. This side is where the air hole is. I'm going to take that plug out. There's where so when it's in the printer, that air hole is going to be open. Now to fill them, very easy. Now this one was used, so I'm going to fill it right now. We have a unique slide-off chip. So if the chip goes bad, you don't have to throw the whole cartridge away. You know, why throw the thing in the garbage? Just slide the new chip on. We've tested these for about a year now, and they work very well. Now I do recommend, if you're going to fill, you get one of these little clamps, because that holds the cartridge. Now you got both hands free. You're going to take the plug out, and then we're going to give you a special rubber type tip to fill it. Don't want to use a needle in these cartridges, or even the old cartridges. You'll see what's going to happen. You're going to poke a hole. If you stick it in wrong, right in the membrane, the sealing part. Because I took the side off. You notice there's a side here, hard side. So I took that off. So that's why we use the rubber tip. Because when we go down in there, we're not going to damage anything. And then we're going to fill it up. And then also, this has a little recessed area. So if any ink does come up a little bit, it'll catch it. So it won't spill all over. So it's a well thought out design. Filling the other ones, the old ones, you'd come all the way to the top, and sometimes it would come out the air hole, the fill hole. So, not a very good thing. Now we're going to fill these, we're going to put them in the printer, show you how to reset things. We sell a kit called the Deluxe kit. We give you 2 sets of cartridges. That's really nice because when one goes empty, you put it in. When you get the other one in, when you get time, you know, then you can fill all of them at once. Just want to show you. This is how many cartridges. All the testing we do. We test cartridges for good or bad, which ones you like. So all of these have been pulled. We don't sell this brand because it doesn't work well. Of course, a lot of times you'll see them, they're cheap, and that's exactly what they are, cheap. Sometimes the chip is on there, you can never get the chip off, so you got to go buy new cartridges. When I say we test, we test. Okay, now I'm going to fill the cartridge. I'm going to take out this little rubber plug here. Set it aside. Might want to have a little paper towel handy. Take my ink. Fill it up. There again, you might want to have a little paper towel handy to wipe that off. You can see it's a little recessed here. I filled up the ink. I'm going to go right in, and I'm just going to keep putting it in. Watch it in on the side. See what I said? If you got off there, you might want it'll catch any drops. There you go. Now it just came to the top. I draw back. Now I take a little paper towel, wipe it out, take the rubber plug, put it in, Okay, now I put the rubber plug in. It's all filled. Now in our Deluxe kit we give you 2 of them. So now in the next part of the video, we'll put them in. We'll show you how to reset them. Very set. It has rubber plugs so you can store a cartridge. Now no air can get into it. The pop-it valve, nothing will leak. But you must take these plugs out. It's got to have that hole open for it to work in the printer. If you forget, it's not going to print, and you're going to wonder why. These are only for storage, and they only come in our Deluxe kit. Because if you only have one cartridge, if you buy the standard kit, you don't need it, because you're going to fill it, put it back in. But on a Deluxe kit, you're going to need to have that storage plug. So the first thing I want you to do is open the lid, remove the Epson cartridges. Shouldn't run them completely empty. You might need them later for doing some testing. So if they're half full or a third full, don't try to empty them out. Put the refillable cartridges in. Okay, now you're going to close the lid, shut the printer off. You got to do this prior to putting in the cartridges. Take a second till it goes off. Okay, now turn it on and open up the lid again. Now you can install the refillable cartridges. And now they're in, all filled. Now close the lid. Okay, now we're going to run a nozzle check. So we want to go over to your maintenance there. You want to arrow over. Okay. Now it says ink levels. It says maintenance. Go down to maintenance. Okay. We're going to do a nozzle check. We just put them in. Normally when you put them in, the printer will charge up the cartridges. Say okay. And it's going to print out. I push the start button. It's going to print out a nozzle check. The nozzle check just came out. Kind of hard to see it in this light, but everything looks perfect. Now if you got 1 or 2 broken lines in one of the bars, you could do 1, 2, no more than 3 head cleans. Once you go beyond 3, it's just a waste of ink and you're wasting your time. Let it sit. Most likely it's going to fix itself. If you got 1, don't even worry about it. And what you want to do is try to run your printer at a higher resolution or better quality rather than draft. Draft, we find that it's not very good for printers and usually damages them. Okay, now we're going to check the ink levels of the cartridges. Press the OK. Now, my yellow is full, my light magenta, my cyan's halfway, maybe a little bit more, and my magenta's low. Now, if I was going to do a large project and I had the two sets of cartridges, I could put in one of the filled magentas that I have back in, and it would bring my ink level back up. Let's open it. Lid. Let's remove the magenta. Put another magenta in. See, the printer thinks you're replacing the cartridge. Okay, now you can see the magenta went back up. Now, that can only work that way if you have two sets of cartridges. If you only have one set, you have to let the color go all the way down and say, cannot recognize that particular color. Let's say it would be the black. Only take out and fill the black and put it in. But I'm going to show you what's going to happen. See the cyan? I'm going to open the cover. I'm going to pick the cyan up. I'm going to put the cyan back down in. And I'm going to close the lid. Okay, cyan remained at the same level. That's because the Epson firmware, if you took out an Epson cartridge and put an Epson cartridge right back in after you looked at it, it would maintain the same level. Same thing applies to the refillables. The only way you can change that ink level is either let it go down to I cannot recognize the cartridge, or have another cartridge to put in at this time. If you try to fill too soon, like if I were to fill that now, I'd be out of sync. So I'd never know where and how much my ink levels were. So now I'm going to lift it again. I'm going to get a cyan cartridge. Take out the cyan cartridge. Now remember, it was about 3/4. Now there again, whoops. I put the cartridge in. So it's locked down. Close the lid. There. That's what I'm talking about. And that's how you reset your ink levels. But if you see this one here, and you take it out and put it back in, it's still going to maintain that level. The only time you can fill it is when it says cartridge cannot be recognized. See? Cannot recognize the following ink cartridge. That time, now that one you would take out and refill. And only that one. Don't fill the other ones.